talk about weather. We all know what weather is, right? It's hot, it's cold, it's raining, it's sunny. Is weather really that simple? Let's take a look. First of all, what makes weather happen? Weather is caused by changes in our atmosphere. So what exactly is the atmosphere? The atmosphere is a mixture of gases that surrounds our planet like a blanket. Gravity holds the atmosphere to our planet instead of letting it escape into space. The more layers of blanket that are pushing down on the Earth, the heavier the atmosphere is and the higher the atmospheric pressure. For example, if you're standing in a valley and your friend is at the top of the mountain next to it, there's a lot more atmospheric pressure on you than on your friend. Is that it then? Nope, not at all. We're just getting warmed up. Speaking of warm, temperature plays a role in pressure too. Think about what happens to water when it changes temperature. When it's very cold, it forms a solid we call ice. But what about when it's hot? Have you ever seen a pot of water at a rolling boil? That's a lot of movement. What's true of water is also true of the atmosphere. The warmer it is, the more freely the gas particles move. The more it moves, the more it pushes against the areas around it, which causes higher pressure. The colder the atmosphere is, the slower the gas particles move. This means lower pressure. We're not done with water in the atmosphere yet. Water vapor is one of the gases present in our atmosphere, along with other gases like nitrogen and oxygen. Because water molecules weigh less than nitrogen and oxygen molecules, the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere, let's call this humidity, also affects the atmospheric pressure. Higher humidity means fewer molecules of the other gases, and therefore less overall weight and lower pressure. Remember, water vapor is lighter. Lower humidity means that more nitrogen and oxygen molecules are present, and since they're heavier, this means higher pressure. So, how do these three things, weight of the atmosphere, temperature, and humidity, combine to make our weather? Areas of high and low pressure, called systems, move and interact with each other to create different states of weather. Low pressure systems generally form where warm air has caused lots of water vapor to remain in the atmosphere. Clouds and storms form in areas of low pressure. Cooler air cannot retain as much water vapor. Therefore, high pressure systems form in areas that are cooler and drier than the air around them. The weather in these areas is generally pleasant. Air from high pressure areas generally flows into low pressure areas. This movement is what causes our weather to shift. Of course, weather is even more complicated than this. Weather is also affected by the Earth's rotation around the sun and even how far it is tilted on its axis, but that's a whole other lesson.